In today's video, I will show you the smartest and the fastest method on how to derive voltage divider rule using Ohm's law and series circuit principles. Let's dive in. Okay, for the circuit above, we have resistor R1, resistor R2, and resistor what? R3. And the current that flows through resistor R1 is I1. The current that flows through resistor R2 is I2. And the current that flows through resistor R3 is I3. And also we have the supply voltage and we have the supply current. And the voltage that drops across for R1 is V1, V2, and V3 respectively. And this is a series circuit. And we know that in a series circuit, current is the same. I1, I2, and I3 is the same as the supply current. With that statement, I can write that I, which is the supply current, is equals to what? I1 is equals to what? I2 is equals to what? I3. So I can call this equation 1. And also, we know that in a series circuit, voltage differs. The voltage that drops across resistor R1 is different from the voltage that drops across resistor R2. And the voltage that drops across resistor R2 is different from the voltage that drops across for what? R3. The reason is because voltage drop depends on the value of what? Resistance. So with that statement, I can write that the supply voltage, which is V, will be equals to what? V1 plus V2 plus V3. So we can call this equation what? 2. We also know that the standard formula for calculating total resistance in a series circuit is given by ROT, is given by RO, which is equals to what? RO1 plus RO2 plus what? RO3. So we can call this equation 3. Our aim here is to what? Find the voltage or divider rule formula. And since in a series circuit current is the same, we will look for the value of current which is the same in this series circuit, so that whenever we see I or the value of that current, we can be able to substitute the value of that current into it. So using from Ohm's law, we state that V is equals to what? I RO. We can make I the subject of the formula, which is the current we are looking for. Since current is the same, we will look for the value of what? Current. So by making I the subject of the formula, we have that I will equals to what? V all over what? RO. Is equals to what? V all over RO. So since we know that I equals to V all over RO, and we know the value of RO, that RO is R1 plus R2 plus R3, so that I, the value of current now, will be equals to V all over what? R1 plus R2 plus what? R3. We can call this equation what? 4. Since we have known the value of current that is the same in the network, we can now find the voltage drop across the individual what? Resistor. So with respect to Ohm's law, the voltage that will drop across for R1, which is V1, will now equals to what? I, which is I, multiplied by what? R1. But remember, I is the same thing as I1, is the same thing as I2, is the same thing as I3, because current is the same in the series network. But we know that I, from equation 4, is this. So we substitute this value of I into this equation. So we have that V1 will now equals to what? V all over R1 plus R2 plus R3, which is the value of I multiplied by what? R1, which is this. So at this point, this equation can be written as V1 will now equals to R1, in the same thing as this R1 all over what? R1 plus R2 plus R3 times what? This V. This is the same thing as this. So this is what? Is the formula that we will use to calculate the voltage drop across what? Resistor R1, which means this is the voltage divider rule formula. So we have gotten for V1. So for us to have V2 from Ohm's law, we know that V2 will be equal to what? I R2. But we know that I is given here. So I, which is V2 now, will now equal to V all over R1 plus R2 plus R3 multiplied by what? This R2 multiplied by R2. Then V, this equation is the same thing as V2 is equal to what? R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3 times what? V. So this is the second one, voltage divider rule formula that we will use to calculate the voltage drop according to what? R2. And for the third one, let me clean here. And for the third one, which is V3, with respect to Ohm's law, we will have that V3 will equal to what? I R3, which is I R3. So now we know the value of I, that I equals to V over R1 plus R2 plus R3. So therefore, V3 will now equal to V, which is this, all over R1 plus R2 plus R3, all in bracket, multiplied by what? R3. And this equation is the same thing as V3 is the same thing as R3 divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3 multiplied by what? V. So this is the word, the third voltage divider rule formula. So these are the word formulas that we will use to calculate the voltage drop across the individual resistor. And what is voltage divider rule? Voltage divider rule helps us to find the voltage drop across each resistor in a series circuit without finding the supply, the circuit word current. It helps us to find the voltage drop across the individual resistor in a series circuit without finding the supply current of the word circuit. With Ohm's law, which is V equals to what? IR. If we were to use Ohm's law to find the voltage drop across the individual resistor, the voltage that would have dropped across to R1 would have been V1, which is equals to I R1. But for us to find this voltage drop, we will need to look for the value of current for us to find it. But with voltage divider rule, there is no need for us to find what? The circuit current. Instead, we will just substitute the value of the resistor and the total supply voltage, and we will get the voltage that will drop across the individual resistor. If my explanation was helpful, let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe so that whenever I upload a simplified video on circuit theory like this, you will be notified. See you in my next video. Bye.